First Alert Weather with meteorologist Spencer Blum.
Here's a look at a few wind advisories around the Coachella Valley. There's actually quite a few, and from multiple different National Weather Service offices. And you can see this kind of tan color here. Because these are different advisories from different offices, they will be going into effect and expiring at different times throughout this weekend. So just know throughout the weekend, there will be wind around the Coachella Valley. Not so much here on the valley floor, although this wind advisory does include Desert Hot Springs, the San Gorgonio Pass, and of course North Palm Springs. It's those more wind-prone areas, and we're going to continue to track these throughout the weekend as well. Here's a look at our future track winds. You can see because we're in an offshore wind event, we have lots of these white arrows pointing toward the west, and we also have our windiest spots being between the I-10 corridor and the Little San Bernardino Mountains, and as well in the pass, specifically the western half of the pass. That's where we're going to be feeling the strongest winds or breezes of this event. You can see potentially in the pass, could be seeing some winds exceeding or some wind gusts exceeding 40 miles an hour throughout the day on Saturday. And the strongest winds will be west of the desert, but doesn't mean we won't be feeling anything here. Potentially still very breezy conditions, potentially over 15 miles an hour here on the valley floor. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on it, although thankfully the valley floor should escape most of the winds in this event, which is good news for us. The reason we're seeing these changes has to do with the fact that, well, this trough of low pressure is moving well off to the east. It's now in about the middle of the country. That means high pressure is building back here in Southern California, leading to this Santa Ana wind event. And as this trough continues to move off to the east, we continue to feel these Santa Ana winds, and we're going to continue to dry out as well. And it's going to be very, very dry this weekend, dangerously dry. In fact, there's a red flag warning in place for areas mainly to our west. It will be incredibly dry, dew points potentially in the single digits, and relative humidity values potentially 10% or lower. So we're going to need to be very careful around any sources of fires this weekend. And it's still pretty dry now, and we're still drying out. You can see dew points, these white numbers here, mainly in the upper 20s or the lower 30s, which is very, very dry. And these relative humidity values honestly are not far behind either. So it's still dry out there, and it's going to keep getting drier. Here's a look at our First Alert Comfort Air 7-day forecast, where you can see this weekend is going to be a little bit breezy and quite a bit dry. But on the bright side, Karen, we're going to be having some absolutely beautiful temperatures tomorrow, maybe below 70 degrees, and then we warm back up into the mid to low 70s for pretty much the rest of the next 7 days.
Well, get outside if you can. Thank you.